Glasses, Trev.
It's good.
Take them off for a second.
We want to say thank you for joining us. We are live here in the National Security Minister's office, State of Affairs from Underwood with the Honorable Michael Weeks. Season's greetings to you, Minister Weeks.
Season's greetings to you, Trev, and TNN, and to your listening audience.
We have come to a challenging year.
Mm-hmm.
We've had 10 road fatalities
Mm-hmm.
as of your last press statement. 6 deaths, but now it's changed. I'll let you talk about it. How stressful has it been for you?
Well, stressful because, it's always ongoing trying to encourage our residents to be safe on the roads and to be safe in their own particular spaces. So as much as we do, whenever there's a life lost, regardless of how it's lost, be it on the roads or by violence, it is a stressful time for me and for the country. Much work to be done, and the work is ongoing.
10 road fatalities, 10 lives lost, 7 persons killed by firearm or murder, 17 persons. How much you say to those families?
Well, what you say to those families, like you try to sympathize, empathize with them, and coming from a position of having been there myself, I understand the reality of losing a family member. But I must say that we cannot legislate ourselves out of the way we ride on the roads and drive on the roads. Some of it has to be personal responsibility. We are putting in place speed cameras. We got sobriety checkpoints. We have stop-in searches. Over this Christmas break, we're going to have increased police presence and visibility. So government can only do so much. There has to be a level of personal responsibility. So when it comes to the 7 murders that our island has experienced this year, one loss of life like that is too much. So the aim is constantly tell our community that the police and the government can only do so much. We must take personal responsibility even in that. If you see something, you got to say something. And those of us that may not trust the police for whatever reason, find somebody in your community that if you have any information, how small it may be, pass that information on, because together it's the only way we're going to be able to keep our country safe.
Minister, the latest murder, which was last week, it one day after the amnesty, the weapons amnesty ended, we had that murder. What does that say to the element that's the behavior, the mindset of our young people? Or that I can't say young people because we don't know who the perpetrators are, but yes, to that lifestyle.
Well, look, I tell you what, Trevor, our work is ongoing. The amnesty was not designed to stop violence. It was just another cog, so to speak, in how we are putting together every avenue we can to get on top of this scourge that's currently in Bermuda, right? So it's unfortunate, and heartbreaking that we have lost another murder, number 7 for the year, and as it stands now, the police are appealing for witnesses. So anybody that has any bit of information, anybody that's in the area that may have ring cameras and see somebody suspicious coming across or walking across in and around that time, open yourself up and submit these cameras, because every little bit of information, every little bit of footage can help us catch these perpetrators.
Minister, you also mentioned about the police presence over the festivity, over the holiday.
Yes.
But the police have been out for the last, I would say, 6, 7, 8 weeks with a campaign.
Yes.
And within the last, since December, early December, the the parties and the Christmas parties,
Mm-hmm.
just still getting individuals,
Mm-hmm.
arresting individuals for drunk driving.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to their behavior? I mean, individuals know that they still drink and drive.
Mm-hmm.
How can we change the mindset?
Well, see, some of that travel is really, again, like I said earlier, personal responsibility, because we know that the police are there. We know that the police have the sobriety checkpoints. We know that they have stop and search. I, as minister responsible for national security, has appealed to the country over and over. Designate a driver. You know, if you're going to 3 or 4 parties and you have a group of 3 or 4 people, each night somebody takes the responsibility of not drinking and driving. You know what I'm saying? Because legislation alone is not going to fix this culture, this driving culture. Not just in Bermuda, but it seems to be a global thing. Drinking and driving is a dangerous way, you know, to live, because you don't even put yourself at risk. You have the potential to put the innocent person at risk. And a rider or a driver who is obeying the law and not drinking and driving, and then you find somebody who's disobeying the law, you know, injuring them. So now I see a question. Legislation is there. The police are going to have an increased presence. Some of the reserves, or a lot of the reserves, are going to be invited. So we're going to see the numbers. Oh, but we have to change that cultural mindset. Do not drink and drive.
I think the bottom line is, I'm going to call it like it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just don't care, because you got the gun violence. As individuals still go, they shoot through the window, they run in your house, they kill you. And then you got the drunk drivers that know that people with the police are there. Is it that they just don't care? What that's where we are now?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if
it has to be.
Now, about what I'm saying, I don't know if people don't care, but you know, some people, the more they drink, the less inhibitions they have and whatnot. But this is where friends and family come into play, right? If I'm out with you and I see you drinking and I see you have one too many, I have a certain responsibility and say, Trev, look, let me drive you home today. You know what I'm saying? Because if I let you leave, right, I'm putting you at risk, and everybody outside that party becomes at risk. So it's on us. If you're sitting with somebody that is having a good time, one too many, we have to be loving enough to our friends, you know, faithful enough to our companions, and say, hey, how you getting home, right? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Where you use me, but I'm not. I'll be the designated driver.
Yeah.
I don't drink, so let's clear the
Right.
let's clear the air right there.
Yeah.
Let me recuse myself.
Yeah.
I'll be the designated driver.
You know.
But moving on, Minister, you presented a presentation in the House of Assembly last week about the seizures, the success of customs, police, the interdiction sections, and the amount of substance, drugs, illegal drugs, and cash findings is up. You give your accolades to whom?
Teamwork. You know what I mean? Teamwork. The police, customs, the Coast Guard are all working together. You know, I've tried to put a team together that could work together, because we have one country, and our aim is to protect our borders and our streets, and what the country has seen with the seizures and these arrests is really a result simply of teamwork.
Are they going to get the firearms? Are they going to stop the firearms from coming in?
Well, teamwork again, teamwork, and the teamwork when it comes to stopping stuff like the firearms and/or drugs is not just the uniformed services. It's community involvement. You know, it's those tips. It's that mindset of if you see something, say something. You know, utilize Crime Stoppers. This ministry have met with Crime Stoppers and agreed to back them for up to $50,000 for information that someone may bring, you know, for whatever crime, major crime that they have information about. So we're trying every little thing, every little thing to create the mindset, and hopefully that together as a collective, as a community, we could do what needs to be done. Because if we sit there and say, "But it's not my fault, not my responsibility," and whatnot, then the question begs to ask, so whose responsibility is it?
Since early summer, to date, the
Mhm.
police have, I think it's been 8. One submachine gun, a Uzi. It's been eight firearms they've taken off the street.
Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. What does that say to the work that the Bermuda Police Service is doing?
But diligent. They have stayed to the wicket throughout all the criticisms. We have put those teams together. We have a good team of officers and customs officers and information from the public. Are all assisted in us getting these dangerous weapons off the street. And if I may add, Travis, that the amnesty ended, I think, on Wednesday. And we got 40 weapons off the street, which includes some firearms.
Okay.
So the public is really saying that they had enough. And a lot of members of the public are realizing now that it's all of our responsibility to keep our country safe.
You have a number of firearms that was in the amnesty?
At last check, I think it was 3.
Okay. So that takes it up to 11 firearms off our streets this year.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, since May.
Yeah.
There was 6 in the Pembroke area.
Yeah.
So the work is continuing. The work has been successful.
Oh yeah. Hats off to the police. Hats off to everybody that's yeah. So and I always want to say thank you to all the uniform officers, because a lot of times they don't get the things necessary. When we hear about the police and customs and even the Coast Guard, a lot of it's negative. But I think at this point in time, with all these weapons being off the street, and even the amnesty yielding 40 weapons, we got to take our hats off and say thank you. Thank you to the police. Thank you to customs. Thank you to the Coast Guard. And thank you to the public. Those members of the public are saying enough is enough, and they're looking to do their part.
The idea came from, was it the think tank or the governor has that?
The Governor's Council.
Governor's Council.
Yeah.
Was that discussed in there? And if so, I think it was a good move.
Yeah. It was discussed in that forum, and it was discussed in other forums, because, I've always told the country I'm leaving no stone unturned. So every idea I consider, so right down to this weapon amnesty, anything that I feel that we need to look into, that's what we do. So this amnesty did come in that form and from the Governor's Council, and it seems to have yielded some good results.
A large cash seizure and the a large cash seizure, as you presented on the floor. You want to talk about what happens, the confiscated funds in those drug seizures and individuals leaving the airport. What happened? One, how's your thoughts on that? And 2, what happens with that confiscated cash? So
my thoughts on what, the drug seizures?
The cash, the drugs and the cash seizure. And I mean, it was up. You said last year was, the numbers were down, the amount was down in cash. Yeah. This year, I don't have my notes with me, but this year it's been incredibly, triple.
Oh yeah. And again, it comes on to that teamwork. We are more diligent in protecting our borders, and we are in the process, right, of hiring more people so that we can have a good border control, right? So what we're seeing is the result of teamwork, and I want to stress too that when we talk about the amnesty, those 40 weapons represents people, right, who want to see a better Bermuda. So hats off to each young person or old person, or whoever it was, male, female, whoever, that decided to take one more weapon off the street. So hats off to that, because that is community spirit. That's community buy-in.
The gang reductions coordination team comes from under your ministry. What are some of the concerns about young people that you're getting from your team? What are some of the challenges that Bermuda can, quote unquote, get to understand and then even help?
Right.
There's parents, there's loved ones that find their young people involved in this bad behavior.
Well, first of all, I'll tell you, Trevor, that what the gang violence team encounters is much of what we already know. There's a lot of youngsters that come from single parent homes, and there's some youngsters that come from both parents. You know what I'm saying? So they come from stable environments. So it's different issues. It's bullying. Some of them want to join gangs as a mean of
fitting in,
security, fitting in, and the like. So my challenge to everyone, just like GVRT challenge them, look to mentor. You know, get involved, be involved in a child's life. It doesn't have to be your blood relative, but take the opportunity to be involved in a young person's life, not only in the schools, in the churches, in the community clubs, in the sporting clubs. The opportunity is always there for us that want to get involved and want to make a difference to do just that. Because a lot of these young guys are just looking for mentors, somebody to believe in them and say that kind word and or that spiritual word that helps them make a right decision rather than being caught up in
looking for love.
Just looking for love, looking for guidance.
Minister, what's been your greatest challenge this year? And what do you look to achieve next year?
Well, the greatest challenge, you know, from where I stand as the minister responsible for security is the gun murders. The murders on our streets. 7 is 7 too many. And my hope is always that we could get down to a zero. But that's from community involvement, Trev. Every time I get a call that you tell me somebody's been murdered and or there's been another road fatality, breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because I imagine what that particular family is going through at that time, man. You know? So my challenge always is to do better for not only as a minister, as a ministry, but us as a government and a country, that we could get down to 0 murders and 0 road fatalities.
What's looking ahead 2026? What's you're looking to achieve next year?
What I'm looking to achieve next year is that, you know, always trying to be better today than I was yesterday. We as a country, if we could achieve a point that we don't have any murders, if we could get to a point that we don't have any road deaths, if we could get to a point that if you see something, you say something, everyone takes responsibility for his neighbor. Look out for the less vulnerable. You know, those all sound like cliches, but that is what we need if we're going to have a safe Bermuda.
Minister, you've had individuals that have gone to trial, been found not guilty, judge and jury, nothing to do with you, but there's parents that are still home, that are left, there's family that is home, left, their loved one, feel they have no justice. If you had the opportunity to speak to their family, what might you say to them?
I would tell the families, as I have on a few occasions, you know, as hard as it is now, keep the faith. You know, a lot of times when a court case or a court decision doesn't go the way one may feel it goes, you know, we always hope for new evidence. I think that's the only way that a case can be reopened. So my thing is to keep the faith, man. You know, let the police do what they got to do and help them do their job. Any information, please pass it on.
Can you clarify that the firearms recovered during the amnesty were not linked to any criminal activity and were, in fact, very old or non-functional, any of those firearms?
Well, the amnesty just ended, right? All the weapons will be tested. for just tested, and then we determined if any of those weapons were used in any previous criminal behavior.
The manpower for the Bermuda Police Service, are the numbers going to increase next year?
Most definitely, most definitely. What our aim is to increase the police next year by at least 30, maybe 40 police officers.
I know the prisons are not under your remit anymore, so I'll keep my that question. Anything else you might want to add before we conclude, Minister?
Not really. My challenge to all the community clubs, to the sports clubs, to the churches, you know, to the private organizations, to the public organizations, we all have a part to play, you know, and sporting clubs in particular, right? They see our youngsters. They see our children from young, when they're most vulnerable at 5, 6, 7 years old, come running through their gates because they want to play football and cricket. We have to recognize that it's more than sports. We have to take the opportunity as coaches and mentors and big brothers in these clubs to help to show these young people a good example. So as we close today, I just want to wish everybody happy holidays, a safe and enjoyable holiday. And please, please, please don't drink and drive. And if you decide to drink, then don't drive. So it's important to identify a designated driver. So as we close out 2025, let's close it out safely. Enjoy family, because family a lot of times are so busy during the year that holiday time is the time that we reconnect. You know, so let's reconnect with our families and our friends and whatnot. But be safe. Do not drink and drive. And happy 2026 when it comes.
What's the minister going to do? Let's get a little personal now. What's the minister going to do over the festive weekend? You've got 4 days starting from Wednesday night.
Well, the minister, right? Before
your grandchildren.
Before I put on a ministerial hat, I'm just another Bermudian from Rondi Bay. So I'm going to be doing a lot of those things, seeing family, reconnecting, enjoying some sporting activities. You know, like enjoying some of the Christmas food and the like. You know, but I'm going to try to lead by example, meaning that no drinking and driving.
Good stuff.
You know, so.
How's your family?
Family's doing good. You know, family's always doing good. One thing that we do, right, is that we look at this time to get together and revel. As a matter of fact, we played golf yesterday.
Okay.
Right? And depending on who you ask, they'll tell you who won. You know what I'm saying? But we had a good time yesterday as a family. As a matter of fact, yesterday was our mother's 101st birthday. You know, she passed 2 years ago. So we decided to come together as a family and play some golf.
It's a big family. Big family's a big family.
Oh boy, we try to take up the whole golf course.
What's the numbers? About 50, 100?
Yeah, Mom had a lot of children. She had 12 children, 40 grandchildren, and about 45 great grand. So it's a posse all on our own. Yeah. You know, and actually what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna finish taking out my turkeys around my constituency, because every year I purchase 130 turkeys and I give to the seniors in constituency number 16. So that's me and my family's way of giving back to us.
Personally, I want to say to you and your family, you've lost loved ones this year. I pray that you just join together and uphold one another. This time around Christmas is very difficult for families that have lost family members. So I just want to encourage you and your family, Minister Weeks, to have a great one. Enjoy the moment. Be safe. And we will reconnect.
I think you could, brother.
We will reconnect in 2026. The early part of January, mid-January, we'll come back again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'll tell you what, we get through the hard times through prayer and faith. You know, so I would encourage anyone, because people that know that I have had my share of experience. But prayer works, man. You know what I mean? Having faith in something stronger than yourself, bigger than yourself, it helps get you through. But as we close, you know, look out for those that's vulnerable. Look out for the elders. You know what I mean? Look out for that person that may be homeless or lacks shelter. Because this is what this season is about. This season is not just about revelry. You know, it's about looking out for those that's
Take a plate of food and go, take a couple of plates of food and go look for a few individuals that were struggling on the streets.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when my children were young, we had a tradition in our household that before we opened up gifts, we got up Christmas morning and we took 10 plates downtown and drove around, gave those plates out and ran home. And then we opened up the gifts because that was our way of teaching our children that, you know something, this is not just about the gift giving and revelry. It's about helping those less fortunate.
Minister, we want to thank you for joining us. We want to thank Bermuda for joining us on State of Affairs. We're on the road with the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Michael Weeks. My name is Trevor Lindsay. I pray that Bermuda, you have a safe holiday. Don't drink and drive. I'm an advocate for that. This network is an advocate for drinking and driving. We're against it. Do not drink alcohol and drive, because I've put up some campaign promotions and people kept saying, you got to say alcohol. So I'm going to say, don't drink alcohol and drive.
Yes.
The life you save could be responsible. Minister, Merry Christmas to you, and we'll see you next year.
And to you and yours, Trev. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.